If you're pursuing disability based on heart disease, what are some mistakes that you really need to avoid if you hope to win Social Security disability? I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a disability attorney. I've represented clients for over 30 years in all 50 states. I'm able to do that because disability hearings are now held virtually by telephone or video, which means that you can appear at your hearing from the comfort of your home, your kitchen table, your bedroom, your dining room. It doesn't matter. Social Security does these by audio recording now. I want to talk to you about mistakes that you need to avoid if you have a heart disease case. And, I talk to a lot of people who've had cardiac events, heart attacks, they've been stented, and they believe, well, because I've had a significant heart problem, I should automatically qualify for disability. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way. What Social Security is concerned about is your functional limitations, how your heart disease limits your functioning. You cannot assume that simply because you have a diagnosis, that speaks for itself. You don't have to prove anything more than that. Heart disease, they're looking at the practical effects of things. You've got to go to the doctor. You've got to have a cardiologist treating you. I've had people that have a heart condition, they go for stenting, and they don't ever go back to the cardiologist for years. That's a problem because Social Security assumes if you're not going to the doctor, you don't have a problem. So you've got stenting, you may have some shortness of breath, you have some chest pain, you're getting refills on nitro, but if you're not going to the doctor, that probably is not going to be enough. So you've got to keep going to the cardiologist, you've got to keep being evaluated, and sometimes there's really nothing the doctor can do for you, but you still have to go just to show that you are seeking treatment and following all treatment protocols. When you're filling out Social Security's forms, you need to be very, very specific about the practical problems you're having. Shortness of breath, chest pain. If you're having, don't forget medications. Many of my clients are on Lasix, which means they're urinating every 45 minutes, or they're on nitroglycerin, which gives them terrible headaches. And if that happens 3 times a week, that can be a vocational problem. Look, I'm looking at all this through the lens of how does this medical problem impact your capacity and your reliability to function at a simple entry-level job? That is the main thing Social Security is all about. So they're looking at the practical effects. That's why if there's evidence that you're engaging in activities not consistent with a cardiac patient, you're riding a motorcycle, you're riding horses, you're taking 4-mile walks, things like that, not really consistent with a person who's saying, I can't work because of cardiac problems. If you're smoking, continuing to smoke, or you're drinking alcohol, many judges feel that that's inconsistent, that you're not helping yourself, and they'll deny you based on that. So you need to make sure that you identify all the practical issues, the simple ones like standing and walking and lifting and carrying. You need to talk about the non-exertional things like medication side effects. Again, I mentioned the Lasix or the nitroglycerin. You have shortness of breath. You have to keep your legs extended. Those are some practical issues there, but it's more than that. You've got to go to the doctor. You've got to be compliant with all the doctor's suggestions. You cannot engage in activities that are not consistent with what you're talking about. And I think if you do those things, you make your chances much, much greater. It's obviously, I will tell you, much easier to win any disability case, but heart disease as well, if you're over the age of 50, because now we have the grid rules. We can argue that even if you have some capacity for work, there really are no jobs out there for a person, a heart patient, with looking for entry-level type of work. So you can win heart disease cases. They're very strong cases. I like them, but I will tell you, I've had a few people damage their claims and lose their claims because of activities not consistent with it. I don't want you to make that mistake. See your doctor. Don't engage in activities or behavior that's not consistent with a heart patient, and just follow protocol. Do what the doctors are telling you. In that situation, your chances of winning go way, way up. Visit me online at ssdanswers.com. You can get a case evaluation. You can download my free report, Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And visit me every Wednesday night, 8:30. I do go live on my YouTube channel, my Facebook page. We answer questions from people about all things Social Security disability, how to win, how to keep benefits, how to avoid continuing reviews, mistakes to avoid. And it's a nice community of people, and I'd like to have you join me. So visit me online every Wednesday evening at 8:30 here at the YouTube channel, and I will hopefully see you there. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.